So today we're going to talk about how the past and the negative things in your past blocks you from moving forward. One of the things that happens to us when we try and make changes to our lives is that we start to go back and analyze what's gone on in the past, and we try and work out what's been blocking us and why we can't seem to take steps forward. And what happens at that point is that we start to dredge up all of those feelings and all of the emotions from our past, and we're trying to go, well, why did that negative thing block me from doing something? But at the same time, we relive it and we hurt ourselves again, and we start to get stuck in a very negative space, and we can't get over that negative space and move ourselves to the positive space. The thing about changing your life is you're never going to get rid of the negative emotions, but you can have more positive emotions by balancing out those negative ones with positive ones. And how do you do that? You either have to let go of what's happened in the past, or you have to reframe what's happened in your past to get the positive side of it to go forward. So let's look at saving money, because that's one thing that a lot of people want better finances into the future. So we might decide that we're going to start saving money, and we finally get $1,000 together, and we're so excited that we've managed to get $1,000 together. And then something happens and you have to spend that $1,000. And what your brain does is go, I'm confirming that my life is bad because now this thing has happened and I've had to spend my $1,000. And so that confirms to you that life is bad and that you can't move forward. What is actually happening is you've taken steps to safeguard yourself. You've put $1,000 aside, something has happened, you've got the money to then pay for that. So isn't it lucky that you saved that money? Aren't you grateful that you've saved that money? And you can save that money again towards your future. Because our brains work on bad better than good, we tend to focus on why that was bad. That was so bad. Look what happened. It happens to me all the time. You ever feel like you're saying that? It always happens to me. I save money and then the bad thing happens and I have to spend that money. What you're actually doing is something really positive, because you're stopping yourself having to scramble and find that money. And it's really hard to do at the time because you're trying to make life better and you've got plans that $1,000 is going to work towards something in your future. And you've got to say, well, it was a good thing that I saved it. And yes, bad things happen. Bad things are always going to happen that are going to make you save the money. But that's what happens is we focus so much on the bad part of it that we can't reframe to the good part of it. And you notice when you're having a really good day and all these great things are happening and one thing goes wrong and it turns your whole day from a good day to a bad day on that one thing, because you're focused so much on that one negative thing that happened, because you just can't distinguish the good things from that one bad thing that ruined your entire day. So let's look at how we actually visualize what's going on in our lives. You ever notice that when a bad thing happens, you've had a fight or a disagreement with someone, you walk away and you replay it in your head and it's like you're there again and you think of all the good things you could have said or all the things they said. Or you know you're about to get into that kind of discussion and you can visualize the whole thing, how it's going to play out, what they're going to say, what you're going to say, and you can create a whole scenario from your imagination about what's going to happen, and you visualized it. What if you stopped visualizing the bad and you visualized that conversation as a really positive, good conversation? How would that affect your mood? How would that affect your thoughts? How would that make you be able to move towards that in a better state or a more positive way than you had before? Because what we visualize in our mind is extremely powerful. And so when we're trying to move forward to something, we really need to visualize the good. We need to see what's happening. We need to see the conversations playing out. We need to picture ourselves, what we said, what they said. And if we can learn to do that better, we can actually start to shift our reality from the bad, the negative, into the positive. And that leads us into our mindset. Our mindset and our mind can visualize anything happening and bring it into reality. Because when we picture something like a conversation happening or like us going on a holiday, our mind doesn't know what is real and what is fake. It just takes in all of the images and it keeps them in there. It doesn't go, oh, well, that's a fake image, so I won't keep that. But it does that. And there is a way to show yourself how powerful your mind actually is. This is an exercise that I do with a lot of different people about how to prove that your mind does actually shape your reality. And it's a really simple technique to do. All you have to do is believe in yourself and believe that this is the exercise, that this is going to work for you. So all you have to do is put your hand out and imagine yourself covering your hand with super glue. And then you want to rest it down on something, your leg, your hand, at the table, and you want to rest it down on that. And you want to tell yourself, my hand is stuck, I cannot move my hand. And then you want to try and move it, try and lift it up. And if you've got full belief in what you're telling yourself, you will not be able to lift your hand because your mind goes, oh, it's stuck. It's believed the image that you've given it and what you've told it. And then as soon as you say to yourself, nope, it's okay, you can move your hand, you can lift your hand back up again. And that proves to you that whatever images you feed into your head are actually going to happen. So if you're trying to move from a negative place to a positive place, you have to feed into your brain and your thoughts and your feelings positive, everything positive. So rather than looking towards the past and reliving all of those bad things that have happened, the things that have blocked you for life, you have to firmly plant yourself looking forward and start to visualize what your future could look like. Get into, like, really picture. I went on this holiday, I saved $10,000, I started putting money aside. And the more you visualize that and use your mind to feed in images that sit within the positive realm, the more your brain goes, oh, well, that's what we're doing. We're doing this really positive thing instead of dwelling on the past. It is hard because every time you start to get into a positive, something will happen to try and confirm that life isn't going to be what you're picturing over here. It's going to try and drag you back over to the negative again and again. And when you get to that point, you just have to go, well, that's a negative. Okay, I had a negative thought and I'm just going to let it go. So how do you let go of something, particularly negative thoughts that come up again and again and again? One way of doing this is to just picture, whenever you picture, this bad conversation happened and it keeps coming up and replaying, is to just close your eyes and just picture shrinking that down really, really small and shunting it away. And just keep doing that. Make it big, make it small, and pushing it away. And just keep pushing that away until the point where you can say, oh, it's come up, I've shrunk it down, I've pushed it away, and I can turn back to the positive images that I'm trying to give myself. This is why people create vision boards and put pictures up around the things that they want in their future, because the more they feed that in and the more they can stop focusing on the negative, the more likely they are to be able to move towards that positive future that they're trying to get to. So I hope this has been helpful to you. I will put some information into my newsletter. You can subscribe in the link below, and I'll see you in my next video.